As I was saying during my evening rant and evening rant part 2, this part 3, at least it's part 3, it's supposed to be part 3. We're lawyers, that is, we're lawyers, crown attorneys, district attorneys, and justice of the peace, judges, and police. Look at all surveillance cameras, all security cameras, all on, all live, all real time, and all recorded outside my front door, here, outside my front door, the police and all those other people should, can, could, may, must, and need, did and do all their jobs titles, jobs duties, jobs descriptions, and jobs details, all about, all to, and all about, all, and would go to all those other people were outside my front door, all when and where and did what out there, all who, what, where, when, why, and how, and arrested, jailed, with and or without probations and or paroles, new, and lawyers with and or without and or with and or without sued those other people, because all those other people were not invited from next door, other residents on this floor and elsewhere across the street, etc. None of them were, especially those next door. They've been stalking us for all before, all during, all later, and all since May 9, 2024. Since. Not us to them. We didn't do it to them. They did it to us. Alleged named Gupta, Gupta, all from next door. All to, at, on, in, out from next door. And before here, elsewhere, all those other people, Gupta, etc., were about to and about us. Internet, Wi-Fi's, examples, social media, virtuals, websites, networking, etc. All witnessed. And here, all the more, there's evidence all before, all during, all later, and since February 23 and March 18, 19, 20, 25. All happened. All during as, all happened as, all those other people outside my front door. I used to get emails from security that my visitors, and was my mom expecting anyone, staff, nurse, visitors coming, and I even got phone calls. Were we expecting anybody? Was I expecting? Was I not? I could say no and not let them in. Not allowed them in. Did those other people next door called me? They should have been arrested already. I mean, they should not, cannot, could not, may not, must not, and need not phone called me. And should not, cannot, could not, may not, must not, and need not used lobby directory to me from next door and all elsewhere. It's a constant, ongoing stalking. All by, all from those other people. Alleged Gupta, factual. GPTA. And every time they see and hear one and more victim showed and told names and all happened, the victims don't owe them anything except a long justice, judiciary punishments, arrests, imprisonments, with and or without paroles and or probations, new, with and or without sued, all those other people I mentioned earlier. Not invited, not welcome. I have documented proof, so do other people. More than 10 other people witnessed. Their name isn't on any lawful and legal documents. And all who, what, where, when, why, and how tried to change that are, were, and did, all not lawful, all not legal, all not employable, with and or without sanity, and with and or without competencies themselves. And in addition to all that, all times those other people, stalkers that I mentioned, alleged Gupta, GUPTA, factual, showed and told and mentioned me and one and more other Bellis by name, my name, another Bellis's name, showed and told one and more other us Bellis's. Those other people I mentioned are all bad, all purposeful, all wrong, all not lawful, all not legal, all not employable, with and or without themselves sane and competent themselves. Which nobody in their right mind at any when and where would come in my doors and film, videotape, photograph and video, make of us sitting in the living rooms, sitting here in bedrooms, etc. And elsewhere we lived. We Bellis's lived. And as the victim, we should not, cannot, could not, may not, and need not have to move. Instead, where are all those judiciary other people, justice, law enforcers that should, can, could, may, must, and need arrested, arrests, jails, with and or without probations and or paroles, new, with and or without sues, all those other people I mentioned, next door and all elsewhere, were those other people and are. And I don't care what races, creeds, and religions those other people were. They don't have any human rights there, not any. Did all that, all about, all to, and all about that. Say that again, all out, all to, and all about myself and one and more other person and others. Be it races, creeds, religions, all those other people next door, stalkers. And are they mentally ill? They are, were, and be, and did dangers to others, and with and or without the dangers to themselves. Dangerous. Violences. Personally, I don't like to give them the time. When they bothered me before, I would close my front door and not speak to them. I would, when they tried to get on the same elevator as me, I would close the elevator door in their faces and refuse to let them on. I remember one time when I tried to get off an elevator to get here, a woman from next door, Gupta, GPT, allegedly, actually stood there and tried to refuse my exiting that elevator, and I had to say, excuse me, and then I was like, can you please move out of the way, get out of the way. So I tried to walk by her, and I did. I mean, they're such rudes. They're just, and they've harassed us, they've bullied us. I wouldn't be surprised if phone calls eventually get traced back to them, including lobby directory, their internet, whether it was their own and or somebody else's ISP and Wi-Fi's, all networking, all websites, all social media, all virtually, all that gets traced back to them, and who, what, where, when, why, and how they read my family's doors and windows, etc. All before, all during, all later, and since May 9, 2024. I'm not doing it to them. This is freedom of speech. I don't deserve to be censored, media banned, demonetized, because I'm the victim. Those other people, stalkers. And I'm, like I said, every time, I'm not the racist, I'm not the bigot, I'm not discriminating, I'm not prejudicing, and I'm not prejudging. I'm not hating. I just don't believe it's should, can, could, may, must, and need be that those other people, stalkers that did all that, should not, cannot, could not, may not, must not, and need not, are, were, be, get judiciary punished, arrested, jailed, prisoned, with and or without new paroles and or probations, and with and or without suit, each one of those other people themselves. Because it's themselves that are doing it, nobody else. I'm not doing it, my mom isn't doing it, we didn't do it, nobody is doing it except those other people. And when my cat was alive, they don't even deserve 1 penny from us. All before, all during, all later, all since. Not any. Stalkers. I'd rather donate another penny to the Lady Fatima Shrine. I'd walk up all those stairs once more just to put a penny there. Maybe 2 pennies. That's how much I don't want stalkers to add on, in, out, from, and by my doors and windows. And my family. Doors and windows. And all should, can, could, may, must, and need, showed and told, and show and tell, all that. Yeah. All should, can, could, may, must, and need, show and tell, and showed and told, all that. I am a religious person. I'm not overly religious, although, when I'm sensing a death in the family or something, or a friend or something, I like to go to church. It makes me feel better about funerals. When my cat was dying, I was, just before the euthanasia happened, I was church going, even virtually and or live streaming. And made me feel better. And I'd often press play, and I'm not going to wear earphones because playing earphones give me headaches. I'm a migraine sufferer. So I like to watch the internet, like videos and stuff, live streams, as though I was watching TV. I wouldn't wear earphones, I wouldn't be wearing these watching TV. I don't. And those other people complained. My next door neighbors, other residents complained because they were racist, bigot, discriminations, prejudices, and prejudges, and stalkers. And they obviously had not anything greater and better to did and do. And I'm trying to find another Presbyterian or Catholic church, maybe an Anglican. I don't know. I might go back to the same church. Is it not the same minister there? I don't know. It's a cute little church. Cozy. Very cozy. Arundel Presbyterian Church. And since I wasn't going to do any gardening, although because of what happened to me June 5, 6, and 10 this year, I decided to go to a garden center and I bought a new geranium and some marigolds I planted, and I gave some gardening to the wisteria gifted to me earlier. And a recent road trip on my way home, I got a new flower I planted myself and pets fur babies fairy garden this year. Myself and fur babies Bellis fairies garden this year. Not a herb garden because I don't have the energy to do that. Although that garden out on my balcony, it's really cute. About my dead cat. Maybe someday a rainbow will be there near my cat dead. You know, if you're a pet parent, you know about the word rainbow, and that is either a polite and or ignorant way of showing and telling heaven is. And since I did that, except the newest flower I mentioned, alleged staff, condominium corporation, emailed me that they were doing some balcony inspections, and they asked me, not anybody else. And originally I said yes, and then I replied to them yes, and then I replied once more. I have to reschedule. They agreed to that, and only they came in. They inspected whatever it was they needed to inspect, and since then I've been out there. I've tidied up out there outside more, and yeah, and I bought myself a new chair, and I'm hopeful that this summer I get to use that chair out there. It'd be nice to be able to have, even if it's just a small bottle of water, a juice, or tea or coffee, or a soft drink, maybe another one of these. Maybe I could have my version of a non-alcoholic Bloody Mary out there. Do I read another book club book? I could go out there a little while without having to worry about my family elsewhere. And my family and I get complete and utter privacy and safety that we're supposed to here and all elsewhere throughout the buildings, this neighborhood, all other residents, etc. Do you like? Please use the like button and leave a like, thumbs up, and subscribe. And more Pink Fridays. Fridays wear pink. Myself, with and or without one and more others. Friday wear pink. Anywhere and or anywhere. You most likely will see me vlogging on Fridays, Mondays, Tuesdays, with and or without Wednesdays. Somehow or other with a video of my eating something. I might not do all day, but I'll find something that I can eat that's what I eat during the day as the wannabe fat person. What I eat during a day as the wannabe fat person. That's me. Such as maybe on Monday I'll eat a salad. Tuesday I can eat pizza and or pasta. Wednesdays maybe a sandwich and or a soup or burger and fries or cooked rice. Thursday I might not do anything. I'm not sure. I could change my mind. Fridays wear pink. Oh yeah. You never know where I'll do that. I might do it from home and or not from home. I don't know. The weather outside, my recovering, my recuperating, my appetite and or loss of appetite. May 2, 2025, just the slightest feeling of nausea. I know I might not be able to go. I don't want to have the same happen there more. My fainting and vomiting and having to have the paramedics there and take me to the hospital ER. I recover, I recuperate. And my mom, I don't know my mom's schedule all, and do I? I'm not going to reveal all publicly published. know what the word wood chipper means? Just because some other people that were all when and all where did that alleged sexual orientation, although I don't believe that is. I believe it's not legal and not lawful. That doesn't mean that changed my sexual orientation. Heterosexual. Bye. I strongly believe they should, can, could, may, must, and need judiciary punished. Be it in Canada, North America overall, and all elsewhere. Honestly. Sincerely. Truly. And anyone and everyone that abused my parents. I didn't abuse my parents. I don't abuse anybody. I didn't abuse anybody. I'll be glad when all should, can, could, may, must, and need showed and told and show and tell all my educations, hobbies, careers, employments, did I say hobbies, and relationships and exes, all before, all during, all later, and all since. May 31, 2024. And including all Canada Pension Plan, CPP, alleged, factual, everywhere. All public, all published, all media, including all obituaries that are real, factual, and all death certificates, all factual, all real, and all birth certificates, all real and all factual. And who was I, Abellis Avril, Avril, all before, all during, all later, and all since December 19th.